Welcome to The Grand Balance, a biweekly podcast hosted by two working grandmas navigating the beautiful chaos of work and family. Hello, Sharon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. 4th of July is around the corner. My little one just celebrated her first birthday.
That's crazy.
I know it went by so fast, right?
Did you guys have a party?
Yes, it was at my daughter's house, backyard party. And I loved it because she has so many friends that have little ones. So I'm saying there was probably 15 kids under 3 there,
Oh, how fun.
and they made it so great for the little ones. So we walked outside, it was a dancing queen theme because my granddaughter loves to dance. You turn on music and she's just moving her little body. So we
Oh,
had these little wooden maracas that you could color. So we had like a little station where everybody could do coloring of their maracas. Then they have a little climbing castle thing that they happen to have. So they decorated that. Then they had little, what is it called? Cornhole, but they moved it real close so the kids could play that. They had, and then around the corner, they had sidewalk chalk and all the cars that could go down the side of the house. So every little kid got there and they just dispersed to like little stations. It was so cute.
oh, that's really cute. What do you mean paint maracas? It was like wooden maracas or
They're like
paper or how?
wooden maracas and they came with markers so everybody could like color or
That's a super cute idea.
yeah, and so, it was part of the dance theme.
I love it because my daughter's wedding, that was the one of the favors we did were hand painted maracas like with their date and their names. So
Uh-huh.
it'd be super cute to do the maracas with one of their kids' parties too.
Yeah, yeah, it was very cute, and because I know it's funny, sometimes the parties aren't really for the kids, it's for
Right.
the adults, and in this case, it was all about the little kids, and then I brought my little boombox, and I don't know if you do this, but in my car, I have on Spotify, I have my toddler playlist.
Yep, I sure do. In fact, embarrassingly enough, on my Spotify Wrapped, you know how they publish that? It was all kids' music, and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
I know, so I brought my little boombox thing and had my phone there, and so it was just blasting little toddler songs too. So it was a really, really cute and fun party, and all the little kids had a great time. And then, of course, nobody could break the piñata because they were all tiny little babies. So
Oh,
and
did
half
your
of them
son
didn't even, like, wanna swing the stick or anything, but
that's but did your son step in and help out with the breaking of the piñata?
no, who did? I think it was a really big one of the big sisters who happened to play softball. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we just had the baptism in Texas, and that went really well. The second little granddaughter is the happiest kid in the world, so she was smiling through the whole mass, smiling through the whole ceremony. Such a happy little girl. So we got that done, so 2 down, and before we know it, I mean, June 1 through 30 to me went by like in a blink of an eye.
Absolutely. It feels like we haven't talked in so long, but so much has happened. All right, so what do we have on tap today?
Well, today, every other season, we've done the inbox for Ask the Grandmas, and we had several questions that we've received that have just been sitting there. So I think we should tackle the inbox and get those taken care of.
Oh, good. I love the days that I can empty my inbox. Let's
And
go.
same. It's because we're both type A.
Yeah.
All right. The first question, and I think we both have good ideas for this, are what are some fun budget friendly activities to do while the grandchildren are visiting for 2 weeks this summer? And I think it definitely depends on their ages, but I have found just in the things we've done is there's so much available app for free activities, especially for younger kids. With the library hours and the activities, I think that's a great idea. The parks, especially if you can venture out from your normal area and check out all the different parks, because I feel like no matter where I'm at in whatever state now, like they are doing such a good job with community parks.
They really are. And I know this audience is very vast, multiple countries and all of that, but you're right. The here, I know just on Mission Bay, they have some really cool parks now with little zip lines and stuff like that. It's really great.
Yeah, when we were in Colorado, we saw some amazing parks. In Texas, I've seen the same, like, just completely different. Each park is different, so I think that's good. The other thing, and I don't know if it's a regional thing, but I know here the museums do specific days or times that, you can get free admission, so that would be something wherever you are, I would look into because that's awesome to be able to go into different museums and not have it charge.
That's right. Yeah, here it's Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, and it's different museums have free entry.
Correct, and I don't know if it's just a San Diego thing, but I'm assuming probably other parts of the country do it as well.
And it's really good if you can do it during the summer months because I do that a lot with my grandkids. And during the week when school's in, it's that day is always the day that they do their field trips. And
Oh,
so
interesting.
something to keep in mind if you don't do it during the summer, but when it's school year, the free the free museum days, it is packed with
Yeah,
kids.
that makes
And it's
sense with all
hard
the field
to
trips.
manage the toddlers when you've got, like, 8th graders running around.
Right. The other thing I've noticed is a lot of different restaurants in the summertime are doing like a kids eat free program. So that would be something to look into too, because that is kind of fun to go visit different places and it definitely helps the bill if the kids are free.
Yep, agreed. And they
You-
have, even at the parks too, I always like to find ones in the summer with the splash pads.
I was just going to say the water element of it adds so much fun too,
Yep.
for sure. Okay, well, those are some ideas. Hopefully, if anyone else has any great ideas, please let us know because it's always fun to get out and about and make sure it's budget friendly and not spending a ton of money when you're out.
Too, just depending on the child that you have, if you have, like, just an hour, Barnes& and Noble and their kids section, my grandkids love to read, and they just walk through, and they have little reading sections, like little tables for little kids and stuff. You can just go in there too.
Well, and such a good suggestion. Also, some of the older kids I know, they have a summer reading program. And so if you keep track of X number of books you read, you turn your paper in and you get to choose from this table of free books.
Oh, they have that actually program at the library too right now.
Exactly. Yeah, very similar to the bit. Barnes and Noble has it too. And they had so many different books to choose from, you know, picture books for the youngest to teenage books for the older.
Oh, that's good to know. I should do that with my
So
grands.
yeah, definitely. We've done that in the past and it's a great way to get kids excited about reading, but also it's always fun to choose a free gift too.
Yeah. Well, as we go through this, if I think of more, I'll let you know. But those are the
Okay,
ones
yeah.
I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's what came to mind for me too. Okay, our question number 2 comes from one of the listeners. My son and his wife are close to her parents. Her parents buy the kids whatever they ask for, and when we are together for family functions, I get very uncomfortable because I feel like she acts like it is a competition to be the best grandma. What can I do to not feel this way when everyone is together and the other grandma is making a spectacle of buying tons of things for the kids and they obviously get very excited about the gifts? Well, that's interesting. That's a good question.
That's a really good question. So
I
the
think it,
grandparents that are with the grandkids all the time also are the ones that give a lot of gifts?
I don't know if both grandparents are local. Kind of almost makes it seem like that, but
Mm,
being the daughter, it sounds like they're with her parents a lot and the grandma just goes overboard.
okay.
But I
That's
think
a
too,
hard
you have to it's hard, but I think you have to remember like time is always more valuable
Yep,
than things.
absolutely. So, no, it's not a competition, but I understand how some people could feel like they need to compete. It's almost that extra pressure is put on that other grandmother that's not with them as much or doesn't buy as much. I would spend time thinking about fun activities or things to do and being more hands-on and engaged. But
Right. I agree with you. And I think you just kind of have to remind yourself it's not a competition. And when you're making memories with the kids and establishing strong bonds and relationships, these are things they're never going to forget. The toys will get donated, get trashed eventually, but the memories are there forever.
yeah, and just all of the memories that I've had and even watching my grandkids, they love gardening. planting flowers, water my little 2-year-old grandson loves to do his chores with his grandfather, to water the grass, pick up the dog poopy.
Oh, that's funny.
It's,
Well,
they
and the
have
other
their
thing I
little
think is good to be reminded of, because my son-in-law just built one of those wet mud kitchens for outside. Like, maybe let them do things they don't normally get to do, like you're saying, go to the splash pad, get wet, go play in the mud kitchen and get dirty. And, as grandparents, I know when I'm there, I make a special effort to make sure my granddaughter can paint, because it requires, constant supervision. You have to clean up. So it's something her parents may not have a lot of time to do, but it's something special and fun that she doesn't normally. It's out of the ordinary.
right. I just hope when they're little, for sure, they don't know what things cost. They just know that they get things versus do things, which I
Right.
can handle that. But as they get older, it would be hard to have kids think that, well, they spend all this money, so they spoil me. What do you do? I just hope with the
Right.
attitude.
I definitely think it's harder as they get older because they value the expensive toys.
Right. She got me an iPad. What did you do for me, grandma?
Right. So hopefully at that point, there's already such a strong relationship established that the gifts are just a side thing.
Well, and two, we've talked about this before. A lot of parents don't like when their kids get a bunch of expensive, get a bunch of things from their grandparents anyway. So, I mean, I guess unless this is you ask for permission, can I get this special birthday gift? Probably shouldn't be showering your gifts. Even the little things, like I'll go to the store. I noticed when they would come over, sometimes they would forget his shoes because they get up so early in the morning and he's still in his PJs when they bring him over. And so I asked my daughter, I was like, is it okay if I get him an extra pair of shoes to keep at the house? And that's nothing. That's like 15 bucks, for little toddler shoes. But I would not feel comfortable even buying expensive gifts without their permission anyway.
Agreed. And something that they have to bring into their own home and store and deal with. And
Right. So for that grandmother that isn't buying things but might be giving the experiences, I would say, I bet you're making everybody happy, even the parents.
Right.
Not
And hang in there and remind yourself it's definitely not a competition. The more love the kids get, the better off they are.
That's right.
Okay, question number 3. My son and his family have a pool, and the kids do not know how to swim. They keep saying they're going to put them in swimming lessons, but still haven't. I'm worried sick about an accident potentially happening. How can I approach this without having the kids get defensive? Okay, that would be my worst nightmare right there.
Well, I was having legitimate nightmares about this exact thing before my grandson was born. And I told my husband, I convinced him to get the temporary fence that you can take up and down.
Right.
You have one too as a
I
home.
got it before the grandchild was born. So
Yeah, I can't remember when I got it, if it was before he was born or right when he was born, but before he was walking. But I had actual nightmares over this. And so
no.
if I were that
Could you imagine if your kids were in a home without a fence around the pool? I would be.
Oh, I thought you said she had a fence. She had.
No, the kids is my son and his family have a pool, so the kids live in a home with the pool.
Oh, I misunderstood that.
So, yes, that would stress me out. I mean, I do think you have to be a little careful in your approach not to get the parents defensive, but I do think, especially if you have an open communication relationship with your kids, to say, "This is stressing me out. Can I help you with swim lessons?" Maybe offer to take them or help with the cost, or
Yeah.
I would try
Or
to
the
do it
cost of the
diplomat.
portable fence.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea too. Maybe say you wanna gift them a safety fence. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. For
Those
me,
things cost money though, to be honest, although the swim lessons is time. And while the swim lesson takes a long time, a lot of swim lessons before you should feel comfortable that they would be okay. I just think a conversation has to happen for sure.
yeah, I think especially because it deals with safety, and if it's something that's it would cause me stress, so I totally get that. It is causing stress, so I would say I would be careful in my approach, but I would definitely explain that it was stressing me out and how can I help potentially maybe hopefully the parents can acknowledge that there is potentially a problem.
It's just something they need to prepare for, just in general. It could become a problem. Or
Correct.
too, if it's like the son is it the son-in-law or either way.
It says it says my son and his family.
Oh, yeah. So then there's all that other things you have to not butt in. That's a hard
I
one.
know. No, it's
It
a rough one, but I think just from the safety aspect, I would offer whatever I could just to get some relief as far as you don't have to worry about the safety aspect all the time.
Yeah. I would say if you can find a way to foot the bill for that safety fence, I'd try to do that.
Yeah, I think I would do the same just because automatically that is gonna give you a layer of security.
That's right, because even swim lessons are not cheap, and it takes time before they're real confident, so that's the easiest solution and the quickest fix.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, next question. My husband and I disagree on the amount of time we spend with our grandchildren and kids. I like to spend the majority of our free time with them, and my husband's opinion is we are finally retired and we should spend much more time on our own. The kids have invited us to go on vacation with them to a resort in Mexico, and my husband would rather go on a different vacation with just us. How should I handle this? Okay, that's a tough one too.
Well, the husband is right in the sense that not all the time should be with the grandkids. Remember when we were talking about on a prior episode how spending too much time or watching your grandkids all the time and stuff could actually hurt your health depending on the level that you do it. It's beneficial when you do it in moderation, but then if it's too much, it can be hard on your body and all of that. And
Well, and you also have to foster the relationship with your husband as well, because it's something that you're gonna have for the rest of your life, hopefully.
if you are, if I mean, we're working, so it's a lot harder to manage time, and you feel like you're shorting everybody because of the time that you spend at work. You can't give as much as you want in general to any one person. But I think if you're in a situation maybe where you're retired, you really should balance it the best that you can.
And
And
again, it goes down to communication. I think you need to sit down and talk with your husband and say, I know this is important to you and this is important to me, so let's find some middle ground.
yeah, I agree. I think it's just easier said than done, to be honest. Especially if that's your only annual vacation and he's
Yeah, true.
them all the time already, and our only one time this year to take a vacation, we're with them again, I could see how that could be an issue, to be honest. So,
Yeah, that's true, especially if you're just doing the one vacation. That it does change things. It kinda depends, like, financially too. Are the kids inviting you and you're expected to foot the bill? Are the kids inviting you and treating you? I mean, it does come back to some finances too
yeah,
in
yeah,
retirement, because retirement, a lot of times your disposable income is limited.
that's right. So it's I get what I could understand the husband, and believe me, a lot of times I'm on the other side, but I could understand how that could be a challenge. And let's face it, when grandkids come into play, grandpa ends up not getting as much attention. And through marriage, sometimes it's between work for us that work, plus kids, then grandkids. The husband sometimes doesn't get all the attention that he would like. So I think it's a big balancing act. And if that's your only vacation, I think you need to explain it to the kids as long as you're able to spend other time with them.
Yeah, that's a good advice, and it's better coming from you because I don't have that situation at all. So,
Yeah,
but this
it's funny because that question, at first I thought the question was going to be different when it talks about me and my husband disagree because one of the things that we're faced with right now is, we do this podcast. So we talk about this stuff all the time about
right.
how to help with kids or, you think maybe you would handle the kids' tantrums differently than you do or, than your kids would or whatever. And I'll tell you, my husband has struggled with this so much. He was saying, "I just, I don't understand, like, with the crying and why they allow it, and if it were me," and so I'm constantly having to educate him, "This is the way they're raising the kids," and finally I said, "You know what? Just stop complaining about it and listen to the podcast, because then you'll understand."
That's funny, and times have changed. I think grandpas have to understand that too. We've gone through so many discussions of how things have changed since we had our own children, but
That's what I'm saying,
grandpas
and
have
so
kinda just thrown into it.
I'm like, "Instead of having me explain all of this to you all of the time, just listen to the podcast."
That's funny. Okay, well, our final question is kind of along those lines. Looking for some tips and advice. I was always the disciplinarian when raising our kids, and my husband was always the fun parent, finding myself falling back into old habits again when we are babysitting the grandkids. I find myself disciplining the grandkids while grandpa is the fun guy. Any suggestions how I can change old habits and how to handle it when the grandkids are acting up and not listening?
Oh, so this is funny because we were just saying how my husband
And we were just talking about this.
it was the opposite, right? Where he was
Right. Yeah, exactly.
man, but I'll tell you, he's the biggest culprit of some of the challenges. He's the one that wants to give them the cookies and eat as much bread as you can when my kids are trying to keep the grandkids on a, not a strict diet, but like healthy first.
Unhealthy.
You get bread
Right.
after you eat your protein, kind of thing. And so while he'll complain, he also is the one that wants to sneak stuff or whatever. And I'm always the bad person saying, you can't do that. So it's funny. I there's always gonna be one side and the other, I'm gonna be honest. I don't
I know. And I think personalities don't necessarily change. If you've spent your life being the one that is on the disciplinary side, like you can discipline your grandkids without being mean. You just have to set the limits, I feel like, especially when you're babysitting and they're totally in your care. Much different if their parents are there.
well, right, I mean, let them do the disciplining,
Correct. Yeah, that's what I meant.
agree. My husband does not discipline at all, but it's funny because he was the disciplinarian when I was raising my kids.
Oh, that's funny.
But as grandpa now, he's done the reverse, and I'm the one that's more, "No, you can't do that. No, do that," "Come up here, do this, do that." And I think because maybe he has me, my husband has me, so he just wants to be fun, and then when he's done being fun, he just turns him over to me. So I get
Yeah.
the tough job.
And I can't relate to it at all because I was the bad guy and the good guy with my kids, and I'm pretty much the one by myself with the grandkids. So
So you're
kind of,
handling both sides right now.
yeah. So it's interesting to see the balance, and I love the questions because it brings up things maybe we hadn't thought of that other people are faced with.
Yeah. But if one is more disciplinarian than the other, I think you just need to have the conversation with your spouse and say, "Hey, I'm, like, tired of being the bad cop all the time. Can you help me out here? Like, if you see that I'm trying to get the kid to be quiet or to sit down and read a book or to not back talk, depending on the age, can you support me and defend me for a little bit here?" And then you can go back.
Yeah,
If
that's
things are all good, then you can go back and be the one that gives them the cookies. Like, I'll give you your favorite part of being a grandparent, but I really would appreciate it if when you see me struggling, you could help out.
I think that's good, and I think that's similar to like how you want to raise kids as well. Be on the same team so you're not divided. You're on the same page, presenting a united front to the kids.
Yeah. Because then what's gonna happen is, just like when we were kids or when we had kids, they're gonna run to the one that they know they're gonna get what they want.
Yep,
So
exactly.
yeah, I think just setting your spouse aside and just saying, "Hey, I think we need to show support of each other." And then you can be the fun one. I'll give it to you. You be the fun one, but as long as you support me in this other stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I do. Concluding our inbox since we've got it all cleared up. Yay. I have a fabulous find.
Hey,
We
great.
haven't done it for a while. My daughter suggested it, and I saw it in use, and it was very helpful. It's probably a lot of moms out there, but maybe not grandmas have heard of this. Have you heard of a bog bag?
Yes, I got my daughter one 2 years ago.
Okay, so my daughter got one. I'd seen them and I'd heard about them. I didn't expect how big they really are, but I think
Oh,
that's
dude.
probably the beauty of it
Uh-huh.
because she goes to the pool or the park or the water park or the beach, and it fits everything. It fits lunch, it fits towels, it fits the change of clothes. I mean, it fits everything under the sun.
Yeah, it was a lot bigger than I thought, and it comes with little you can add on. It's expensive, though, but you could probably get knockoffs now, but you can get add-on pockets and things that, like, hang on the on the outside of it and to store, like, a water
Yeah, there's
bottle and stuff.
pouch organizers, there's a phone holder, there's a sunglass holder, there's coolers. It's fascinating. I have seen knockoffs too because they are a little pricey. 2 things. I've seen the authentic ones with big coupon sales like at Dick's Sporting Goods and those type of things, and I've also seen really good knockoffs at Costco.
Okay. Yeah, and I
But
when my daughter first said she wanted one, I went to order it. I think I got it for her Christmas or something, and I thought, "Oh my god, this thing is huge." But boy, is it handy.
yeah, no, I agree. I didn't when I had seen it over pictures and she was telling me how great it was and said, "You should share this with your audience." But when I saw it in person when I was there in action with everything 2 little toddlers could possibly need, I was like, "Wow, this is actually pretty cool." And then because of the big square bottom, it stands up so it's not flipping over in your trunk or where you're sitting. It also has the cute little thing you can put on the top that makes it into like a table,
Oh, I've
and
not
you can
seen that.
yeah, you could that might be a good stocking stuffer, Angela.
Mm.
It has, like, little cup holders and a flat place where you can put out, like, snacks, or you can have, like, a picnic at the beach where the kids can sit not in the sand, keep the food out of the sand.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
It's super cute. I think I'm gonna get that as a stocking stuffer for Christmas for my daughter.
I can't envision how it would work, but I'm sure it works. I mean,
Well, we'll post it on the website with sample of the bog bag too, so you can see what we're talking about, but, yeah, the little table accessory is super cute.
yeah. Yeah, because and then you could just keep it kinda stocked too, in a way.
Yeah,
Like
that's what my daughter does, like, after she gets home, she cleans all the, towels and everything and puts everything back in that they need for the next trip.
that's right. So here's the if you go to the beach a lot or you go to the park a lot, you just keep stacking it with stuff.
Yeah, and you keep, like, this water shoes and all the stuff you need for whatever activities you do regularly.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope.
Diapers, wipes, etcetera, sunscreen.
Yeah. I love it.
So, yeah, so that was our fabulous find. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate it, and we will be back in a couple weeks with a new topic.
Alright, sounds good. Talk soon.
Bye. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to the podcast so we can continue to grow our community. Also follow us on Instagram at Working Grandmas Podcast, on Facebook at The Grand Balance, a Working Grandmas Podcast, and join our LinkedIn group, Working Grandmas. You can also email us at info@workinggrandmas.com or message us through any of our social media platforms.